Distinguished colleagues, I speak before you today on a matter of personal and collective privilege. Mr. President, noong nakaraang linggo lumabas po sa balita ang pagkamatay ng 19 na taong gulang na si Mark Kenneth Alcedo dahil sa hazing. Let me show you a short news clip of what happened. Pasintabi po at medyo maselan po ang ilang imahe.
Namatay si Kenneth matapos umanong sumailalim sa hazing ng isang fraternity.
Pinaaral ko yung anak ko sa PNPC dahil akala ko safety yung anak ko. Sana lumabas na kayo, bawa na kayo sa amin. Hindi deserve ng anak ko ang ganun. Bakit ganun? Tulpo, tulungan mo ako.
Ma'am Jennifer, ang aming pong taos-pusong pagkikiramay po. Kasi nakita ko sa news at nanawagan po yung mama ninyo sa tanggapan. Itong mangyayari, paibisigan ko po ito sa Senado, native legislation.
Maraming salamat po sa tulong niyo na binigay sa amin.
Kenneth died due to severe blunt force trauma to the lower parts of his body. He sustained a hematoma with abrasion on the lip and a tooth fracture. He also suffered abrasions to his abdomen, fingers, knees, and toes, as well as hematoma on his leg. A square indentation and chill seeds were also observed on his private parts. His hands were crushed with pliers, and there were so many bruises on his back. A gray Mitsubishi Mirage brought the unconscious Kenneth to a hospital in Dasmariñas, Cavite. The driver of the vehicle and his two other companions fled and left Kenneth behind. They claimed that he was a victim of a hit and run. Mr. President, Kenneth is a student of PNTC colleges in Dasmariñas, a maritime school. Chairperson Dr. Shirley Agrupis reported to me in a letter that PNTC does not recognize or permit fraternities and sororities, and the event happened outside the school on a Sunday. This explains why they were not able to regulate or monitor the hazing conducted. Cavite PNP Provincial Director Police Colonel Ariel Rebancos Red said, probers are looking at the potential links of 21 suspects and persons of interest in the death of Kenneth. The hazing incident allegedly took place in an open field in Barangay Langkaan, Dasmariñas, near several subdivisions. According to the police, of the 21 personalities linked to Alcedo's death, 15 had a direct participation, while the others are being treated as persons of interest. According to the police, 6 Tau Gamma Phi members have surrendered themselves for being involved in the initiation rites. Mr. President, hindi ko po alam kung anong kondisyon ng pag-iisip nito mga gumawa nito kay Kenneth kasi hindi po dala ng galit ang kanilang ginawa. Hindi naman paghiganti sa isang masamang bagay na ginawa ni Kenneth. Sa halip, ginawa po nila ito daw sa ngalan ng brotherhood. They committed such horrendous acts to a so-called younger brother as a welcome ritual to their circle. Ang lalakas po ng loob kahit na may batas na tayong pinapapatupad na pinaparusahan ng hazing, tuloy-tuloy pa rin po sila. Di kaya dahil hindi sila natatakot sa batas? Dahil ba iniisip nila protektado sila ng mga big brothers nila? Ito pong Tau Gamma Fraternity ay involved din po doon sa pagkamatay ni John Matthew sa Lilig at napakarami pang ibang insidente ng hazing. Di umano itong Tau Gamma ay may party list din sa Kongreso na tinatawag na TGP party list. Di ko sinasabi na pinayagan ng TGP party list itong hazing na ito. Pero siyempre, itong mga kabataan na ito, yumayabang at lumalakas ang loob dahil may mga brad sila sa matataas na lugar. Yan naman po ang dahilan ng ilan kaya sumasali sa mga fraternity. Mr. President, we enacted RA 8J049, the anti-hazing law of 1995. The law defined hazing and provided regulations and penalties to curtail the evil that comes with these rituals conducted by fraternities, sororities, and organizations. When more hazing deaths occurred, we passed RA 11053 or the Anti-Hazing Act of 2018. Sa RA 11053, strengthened enforcement by providing stricter regulations and heavier penalties. It also provided for registration, regulation of initiation rights and monitoring for both school-based and community-based fraternities, sororities, and organization. And it widened the scope of liability to include any person who participated, planned, or was present during the event, even if they did not inflict any injury. These are welcome developments. Unfortunately, it has not stopped this barbaric practice that attract its members with the intoxicating power to play God over the lives of their would-be brothers. Ang malaking problema po kasi, kung alam ng mga organisasyon na ito na gumagawa sila ng illegal, bakit sila magre-register? Bakit sila magpapamonitor? Siyempre, puro patago po yan. Let me show some incidents that have been brought to me to show na tuloy-tuloy pa rin po itong mga hazing.
Wala pa po sir na 1 week sir. Grabe na po sir yung pang-hazing sir na nangyari sir. Yung pagpalo po sir sa puwet sir, pati yung mga tama sir sa ulo sir, sa mga katawan po. Yung pagpababad sa tinatawag na Boracay sir, yung nandun ang lahat yung safety tank sir, mga dumi ng tao doon na. Yung swimming pool nila. Tao po talaga sir, nakababa doon sir, papatalunin ka.
Nung nirecruit po ako po ako ng blessing, ang sabi po sa akin, hindi ka na pwedeng umatras kasi hanapin ka namin.
Hindi ka ba konsensya? Yung binubugbog mo na gustong sumali, walang kasalanan sa'yo, bubugbugin mo, tapos later on, yayakapin mo. Tapos sabi mo, brother, in fact, kusang sumama at gustong yakapin ka bilang isang future brother sa fraternity at bubugbugin mo, anong feeling mo doon? Matanong lang kita, masarap ba ang pakiramdam na nanakit ka ng tao?
Hindi po, sir.
Oh, bakit yung ginagawa?
Gaya nga po na sabi ni leader po is sa tradition nga po.
Tradition. Pero kayo ba, may mga konsensya ba kayo?
Ano nga, sir?
Eh kung may mga konsensya kayo, bakit kayo na magpapalo ng paddle hanggang sa sumakit ang tiyan, hanggang sa magkapasa-pasa na, hanggang sa yung iba mamatay pa? Ano meron? Gigil na gigil kayo. Just to follow tradition? Kayo ay mananakit ng tao? Ganun ba yung tradition na tinuturo? Since the law was amended in 2018, several incidents of hazing have been reported and resulted to severe injuries and deaths. September 2019, Darwin Dormitorio, a PMA cadet, died. November 2019, John Desiderio, a PNPA cadet, was maltreated. July 2021, Jonas Bondok, a PMMA cadet, died. September 2021, George Scary Magsayo, a PNPA cadet, died. February 2023, John Matthews Salilig of Adamson died. October 2023, Aldrin Larry Bravante, a criminology student, also died. July 2024, Vince Andrew de los Reyes, a maritime cadet, died. September 2024, Ren Joseph Bayan, a grade 11 student, died. And July 2025, Charlie Patigayon, a Philippine Army private, died. And now we add Kenneth to this unfortunate list. And so many others may have been victims of hazing that have not been reported on, probably because they did not result in death or the victims choose to keep quiet. Based on the records of the PNP from 2012 to 2022, there have been 178 recorded hazing incidents. We have to stop these children or young men and women from joining or push the parents' schools and LGUs. Mr. President, I have nothing against Tau Gamma fraternity. But they keep on saying that they condemned hazing and just claim that the group did it is an unrecognized chapter. Sabi nila, hindi raw kasi nila recognize yung chapter na gumawa ng hazing. But they allow these groups to use their name. What use are the registration requirements when it is so easy to just disown groups that get caught conducting these hazing rites? Nagiging useless po ang registration, regulation, and monitoring requirements sa batas. Mr. Chair, during the 19th Congress, we held a hearing on the anti-hazing bill and changes were proposed. Unfortunately, the bill did not pass into law. This 20th Congress, I refiled my bill, emphasizing the changes that I think would make everyone involved in hazing more accountable. The bill mandates schools to be more proactive in monitoring the activities of fraternities, sororities, and other organizations conducting initiation rites. I also propose certain presumptions that would keep our school authorities on their toes when it comes to these groups. The bill also provides a presumption on irregularity when an organization fails to register. Furthermore, I propose that the commanding officers, such as the chapter presidents and other officers, must be liable for the activities of their members, whether or not they participated in the activity. And finally, I'm proposing to create a presumption of knowledge for the owners of the houses or property used as venue and the registered owner of vehicles used during the hazing. This will make it harder for these groups to conduct these illegal activities. Mr. President, I want to put a stop to the list of senseless deaths. Kenneth, who is the youngest child, told his parents that he was going to an outing early Sunday. But the next time his parents saw him, was already at the funeral parlor and in such battered condition. Kenneth's mother, Gemma Alcedo, said, I thought he would achieve his dream of becoming a seaman in school. But it is where his life ended, and it's hard to accept that. Hindi po natin kailangan makilala si Ma'am Gemma Alcedo upang maunawaan ang pinagdadaanan po niya. We only need to think of our own children, our sons, daughters, or nephews or nieces, mga inaanak o kapatid. Isipin po natin na silang dahilan kung bakit tayo bumabangon araw-araw. Paano kung sa isang iglap kunin sila sa atin? Dreams and aspirations eroded all in the name of brotherhood or a false brotherhood. The anti-hazing law, it seems, is not enough. We have to have a law that's as painful as the acts committed during these hazings. For our children and their dreams, I hope we can review the implementation of our anti-hazing law and see what we could do to put a stop to this monstrous practice. I call on the Committee on Public Order to look into these again. Maybe we can invite all these big fraternities and sororities. If they say that they are against hazing, let us ask them, how can they help us stop all this kalokohan? Thank you, Mr. President, and my dear colleagues.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. May I be allowed also to weigh in on the speech of a good gentleman, Senator Raffy Tulfo, Mr. President. Mr. President, I would like to join Senator Raffy Tulfo in voicing my strong condemnation on the recent hazing incident in Cavite. Many of you can recall that in the, I believe it was the 17th Congress, when we passed in 2018, I was just newly elected as Majority Leader. You were the Senate President at the time, Mr. President. Naalala niyo yung kaso ni Horacio Castillo. Yung tatay po niya ay si Acho.
Si Acho.
Tatay po niya ay aking classmate sa San Agustin. At hindi ko po makakalimutan yung gabing tumawag po siya sa akin at yung nanay tumawag po sa akin na umiiyak po dahil nga sa nangyari sa kanilang anak doon sa isang hazing incident as a law student in the University of Santo Tomas. Napakasakit pong pakinggan yung hiyak ng isang tatay at ng nanay po na sumisigaw na anak ko po yan, at napakatindi po ng kalungkutan na naramdaman po namin. So much so na yung kanyang kapatid ay nag-OJT sa aking opisina, who is now with us still in the Senate staff, si Nicole Castillo, Mr. President. It became our crusade to amend the first anti-hazing law that was passed during your time, Mr. President. You were a member of the Senate then. That was done by Senator Joey Lina. He was the author of the first anti-hazing law. Yan po yung anti-hazing law of 2018. Akala po namin na ilagay na po namin lahat ng safeguard dun na kasama yung eskwelahan sa paglilitis at kaso na dapat kasuhan, kasama na po yung lahat ng nanonood at walang ginagawa na isama po natin doon, and so on and so forth. Pero nakakapagtaka na hanggang ngayon po, Mr. President, hindi pa rin natitigil ang hazing. Nakalagay na po heinous crime. Under the law that we have passed in 2019, we were all there as members of that Congress. Naipasa na natin po yan na maging heinous crime yan, at ayan, reclusion perpetua. At nagpapasalamat po kami sa korte dahil napakarami ng nahatulan dun sa kaso ni Acho Castillo, guilty. Nito mga korte, Mr. President, nahatulan silang guilty. Most of them, if I'm not mistaken, almost 90% of those who were accused were, of course, given the guilty verdict and utilizing the old law. Nakakapagtaka na mas maigpit na nga itong bagong batas na yon, ay hindi pa natin nakikita, at wala pa rin ako naririnig na dito sa mga pangyayaring 2019, 2020, 2021 during the pandemic, na dami po na hazing doon, wala pa ako naririnig nagigilty as of now. Kaya nakakapagtaka na mas maigpit na nga ito na yon, ay wala pa rin po tayo nakikitang nahatulan na guilty verdict. I may be wrong, but I've been monitoring the news. Wala pa ako naririnig na ganung klaseng guilty verdict. So, we call, first of all, aside from the Committee on Public Order and Security, which I will be referring this bill later on, Mr. President, we're calling the Philippine National Police to urgently act on this case and go after the 21 individuals involved in the murder of Mark Kenneth Acedo. Those who laid a hand on him and those who stood by and watched him suffer, kailangan pong mabulok sa kulungan ito mga taong ito, at kailangan nilang pagbayaran ang buhay ni Mark. Tama po sinabi ni Senator Raffy Tulfo, yung ating pangarap ay hindi para sa ating sarili, kundi para sa ating mga anak. Ayaw nga natin madapuan ng lamok ang ating mga anak dahil takot po tayo sa dengue. Kaya sa bahay ko sinasabi ko, mosquitoes are our enemy. Sinasabi ko yan, kaya panagi kong pinapasira yung bintana kasi takot tayo sa lamok. Lamok nga yun, ito nga paddle, bat, tubo, sipa, suntok, all in the guise of brotherhood, Mr. President. All in the guise of brotherhood. Kaya sana po may tigil na po ito. And I thank the good gentleman, Senator Raffy Tulfo, for bringing this up. He has made it his crusade. Kami sumusuporta po sa kanya. Itong Acho Castillo law na pinasa po natin ng 2018, we'd welcome more amendments to make it even stringent, more stringent. And if kung pwede, immediate, dapat immediate po ang action ng korte at ng Philippine National Police. At pati doon sa Philippine National Police, may bagong hazing case, Mr. President, sa Mindanao yata. Yung mga cadet, transfer yata to PNP. Recruitment nila, na binugbog din yung PNP na yan. Kaya nga, kung sabi ko nga, kung yung PNP nga, nambubugbog na nga ng individuals, paano kaya itong mahuhuling mga iba't ibang brotherhoods na to, or sisterhood na nambubugbog din ng mga estudyante? Kaya po sa tingin ko, kailangan nilang malaman na may batas. And I'm appealing to the courts, Mr. President. I'm appealing to the courts. This could be their children. This could be their apos, lalo na yung mga justices. Sana gumalaw na po sila. para maprotektahan po ang mga kabataan dito sa mga insidenteng ito, Mr. President. So, I thank the good gentleman from Mindanao and Republic of the Philippines for supporting this measure. And before I move for its referral, I believe Senator Sherwin Gatchalian would also like to make a manifestation. Kasama po natin siya. Yan ang pinaglalaban.